Hey, I'm Jeff. Thanks for coming to my Homestead channel. This is where I share all the things that we're doing around this new property that we bought. We're doing renovations, we're going to be doing a lot of gardening coming up in the spring, but right now I'm focusing on getting all these shiitake mushrooms together. So I've inoculated these logs and I've got a few more to do, but let's go back and I'll show you how the whole process came together and what you can do at home to grow your own shiitake mushrooms. So in this one, I'm going to explain how to select your oak trees. Choosing the right one's really important. We're going to learn how to prepare our logs and get them ready to inoculate. What time of year would be best to cut your trees? And how to season your logs. Also, inoculating the logs, the whole process of drilling and filling and waxing them and getting them ready to go into the forest, and then ultimately finding a home for them down in the woods or wherever you have around your property to put these so that you'll give them the best chance for fruiting. It's going to be a long process. These things take about 6 months to a year before they ultimately fruit, but it'll be worth it. In the long run, a year from now, we'll have plenty of mushrooms. So let's talk about why this oak tree is one of the best things we can use to inoculate for growing shiitake mushrooms. They're super dense, they retain a lot of moisture, and they last a long time. If I inoculate these trees today, I'll probably be pulling mushrooms off those logs 5 to 8 years from now. We can identify a healthy oak tree by looking for certain things. They have a strong bark, there's no rot on it, there's no real sign of insect infestation here. This kind of bark is typical around here for the oak trees that I have on my property. You can always check for the leaves on the ground and whether or not there's acorns. Oak trees are fairly easy to identify, and they have a very particular smell. If you've ever smelled an oak tree, it smells like an old wooden barrel. This one is a great size for a shiitake log. It's 3 to 8 inches in diameter, which is about the window, and it would make a good set of logs. Always remember too, when you're going to cut your logs, check with your local government to see if there's any strange regulations that they have against you cutting your own trees. There probably won't be, but it's always good to check. Just common sense, sustainability, and common sense land management techniques are the key to doing this right.
The forest can be a beautiful place. For many, it is associated with relaxing walks or a spot to observe nature. But for professional woods workers, it's just one big open-air factory, a place to earn a living, a potentially deadly place for those who ignore the safety rules.
So as we said, we're going to cut our logs up to about 3 to 4 feet long, so they're easy to move around on the property. You don't want anything too big and heavy. They do need to rest for a little while before you inoculate them. Oak trees have a natural antifungal barrier inside the trees that is alive when you first cut it, and it needs to just fade out. So that'll just dissipate the natural antifungal properties of the oak tree before we introduce our new mycelium. So a good 2 to 4 weeks. Just let them set before you do anything. So let's talk about the tools and materials that you're going to need to inoculate your mushrooms. First of all, you're going to need some sort of a drill. You can use a regular home purpose drill, but it'll take a lot longer. I went ahead and got a specific drill bit that fits my angle grinder, and it made life so much easier. That drill bit really goes through the wood fast, and it will make the work a lot lighter. So it's definitely worth your time to invest in the right tools. Then you're going to need some sort of shiitake spawn. There's plenty of resources online. Like I said, I got mine from North Spore. You can get it from any number of places online, or if you're really talented about it, you can make your own with some liquid culture. But that's a whole different subject. So when it comes to drilling your holes and filling the logs with the sawdust spawn, in this case, sawdust spawn, we're going to create holes in a staggered pattern about 4 to 6 inches apart. All that beautiful mycelium there is going to go into our logs. So you just stab it. When you push down on the plunger, the spawn will come out in a bunch like that. And you can put it right down in the hole. And now that's filled and ready to be capped with wax. So now we just have to do that in all the holes we made. Fun. So I'll do that for the whole log, and then I'll come back and seal up my holes with wax to keep the moisture in and all the contaminants and bugs out. So now that your logs are drilled out and filled with the spawn, capped with the wax, you can stack them. Just put them someplace out of the way around your house. I have mine stacked up in the forest down here behind the house. In the wintertime, when it's cold, you want to keep the logs down close to the ground, and you can even cover them with a tarp or so if you want. In the summertime, in the spring, when it starts to warm up, you can air them out by stacking them sort of log cabin style, and that'll allow a lot more airflow in the stack, and hopefully it will help them mature faster, because we want those mushrooms. I don't like it in here. The lighting's terrible. So stick around with us as I keep working on this property. There's always going to be something to do. I've got updates coming, hopefully sooner than later. Sometimes it takes longer to get these updates out with longer projects. All right, so that's it. It's pretty much just a waiting game now. I've got these ready to go, and I'm probably going to do another batch in a couple of weeks. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hey, if you've had any experience growing mushrooms, if you have any helpful information, tips, or tricks, just leave them in the comments below. I'd like to read them, and I'm sure other people would too. Our channel's new and growing, and we're always trying new things here, so we're always learning, and I want to learn from you guys. So just remember, you subscribe and ring the bell and all that stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.